Yeah, I'll let you know. I mean, collectively, it looks like it's taken a lot of the aspects of the two and have actually combined them together. But apparently, it's also a 24-hour battery life on a wireless charge. So that was so here's the reason that I did request it, right? Because I said to them, I said I'd like to really actually do a comparison between the original wireless one and this new one, and really differentiate between the two, because fundamentally it looks like there's a lot of things that are the same, but there is a hefty price point for the new one. It's like an extra $70, I think.
Well, it's too bad you don't have a 3 to compare it with, but you didn't get one of those.
No, I got one of just the 3 wired.
Yes.
Because that was a typo on my end.
Yeah, you didn't ask for the 3 wireless.
By the way, I did send a response back. At one point, I was like, hey, so I made a mistake. Can we talk about this? And he never replied back.
Right, he was like,
Yeah, you're an idiot.
And I was like, stuck with the wired.
Fair. Yeah. We're sending you free stuff. Stop your whining.
That's right.
Fair.
Right.
That. Hey, don't write me. I Power A sent you stuff that you requested. Don't write me, mister. Don't be looking at me judgy over there.
I know. I just made sure to give you the official name of everything that I was looking to review.
Yeah, that's fair.
Are we good on YouTube? And also, who's going to do the intro? Marty, you just got back. Are you doing the intro?
You know what? You do such a good job of it. I'm serious. They hear enough of me all through the show.
Okay. Let me get those ready while Jesse's getting ready there.
I need to add.
I'm ready.
No, you're not. Not yet.
Shut up, Google Drive. God. Ugh. Hang on. I don't care about your trash.
Google Drive, you're the worst.
It's like we're updating our trash options. I know. I've seen it on every account I use Google Drive on.
To be honest, you just said that and it just popped up on mine, actually.
There you go.
Patrick says there's never enough, Marty.
Oh, look at that. Also, Patrick, you're a dirty liar.
Hey, listen, after spending the last 5 days with my relatives, I'm sure that they believe that there is enough Marty. So, what the heck?
I tell you. I just downloaded an app and I don't know where it went. It's the weirdest thing ever.
That's the sound of you getting old.
I couldn't find it on my iPhone. I actually go to the search function. I'm getting old. You're absolutely right, Marty.
Let's see here. I've been playing some Animal Crossing. And some
wow.
Mario 35. What else have I been playing? I've not been playing Hades. And I also bought Bastion and Transistor because they were on sale. Because, I don't have enough games to play already. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. That's all I'm going to talk about. Okay. Events.
We're live right now on Twitch, aren't we?
Yeah.
We should start.
Splatfest.
Tim is blaming me for his readiness.
Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 300, recorded on October 8th, 2020. On tonight's episode, we talk about Treehouse Live and all their shenanigans. Sakurai brings us Steve for Smash. And most importantly, we talk about 300 episodes and a surprise for the Nintendo Dads. Jesse, you know what to do.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is the big 300, the 300th episode of Nintendo Dads, and we're excited to be hanging out with you. It is October the 8th, 2020, and yes, we've really done this for 300 episodes. Joining me tonight, Mr. Jesse Waldack, all the way from Kansas City. How are you?
The time flies when we're having fun.
Yep. Somebody that I know around here says fun flies when you're doing time.
Maybe. I have never experienced that.
I haven't either, and Tim is experiencing a case of no head. You look down and your head disappeared. That's so if you're watching us on YouTube,
perfect for Halloween.
Headless Horseman. Speaking of the Headless Horseman, Tim, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I feel awesome because it's just awesome. I mean, I had to deal with kid issues earlier, but still, I feel awesome.
Yeah,
it's 300, and I get to be a part of it.
That's right. Awesome. And the thing is that now that you've dealt with kid issues, you get to come on here and forget about those for a while.
What kid issues again? What?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And speaking of kid issues, from the Great White North, Justin Masson, how you doing, buddy?
Good. I think I am probably like the biggest kid in this group of all the stupidity and shenanigans that have to be managed. I don't think it's a toy collection. I think it's maturity. That would be this guy. You know what I'm saying? 2 thumbs in it is an idiot. And this guy. Let's go. It's excited to be here. Episode 300. Holy cow. So just for those of you that are keeping score, just as an FYI, that means that we are like our 6-year anniversary of doing this, which is crazy. My youngest daughter is 10, which means she was 4 years old when I started this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take a little bit of a moment. I think as a founding father of the show, I think I get to reminisce every once in a while. It's been a great run. My family supports me, but just before the show started, my wife sent out the following tweet. And maybe, Jesse, we can lower the music because I think it's critical to hear this. Thank you. Congratulations to Masson23 and the Nintendo Dads team on episode 300. Your passion is contagious and sometimes annoying. And I love seeing the community you have created. So that is, I love the support my wife has provided, and a lot of people are highlighting that tweet right now.
Honestly, dude, let's be honest. For all of us here are married, and what is a good marriage without our wives busting our balls every now and then, right? About what we're into.
Yes.
I mean, that is exactly it. Exactly it.
If you have a hobby or a passion and your wife has never turned to you and been like, I don't care. Yeah. What are you doing with your marriage?
I typically preface it now as like, so I'm going to talk geeky for a moment and I need you to play along. Can you do that right now?
Yes.
Yeah, can I talk about something Nintendo related that really bugs me? And she'll be like, okay.
And she's like, don't you do that on Thursdays for a reason so you don't have to bug me with these problems? I know, but yesterday was Thursday and today's Friday and I have a whole 6 days before I talk to these poor yahoos again. What Sakurai did.
Exactly.
That's
and
right.
There's and Justin, that's a great segue into the fact that there's been a ton that's happened since the last time we recorded an episode. And so with that being said, why don't we just go on and dive right into the news tonight?
Do it.
And our news is brought to us each and every week for 300 weeks or so by you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. And you know what? We're not going to do anything or drag it out tonight. We're just going to make it brief. Head on over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where for $1 a month, you can join up and be a part of the greatest community on the internet. And we want to say hi to our brand new patrons, Jonathan and Seth Sturgill. I don't know. That Sturgill, Sturgis. That's a place there's a bike rally. Seth Sturgill. If I've said that wrong, I'm sorry. Please don't quit being a patron of the show. Actually, you know what's funny is somebody did that once.
Yeah, totally did. I was going to say, funny fact for those of you that don't remember, we had someone who did that once.
Yeah, they joined up, and I mispronounced her name on the show on Thursday night, and Friday morning we woke up to an exit survey that said, you could not pronounce my name, bye.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I'm not even mad about that because
no, it was great. I thought it was great.
Look, my last name is Estes, and so I've been called Estes, 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 which rhymes with a part of the male anatomy. That's real great when people figure that out about 6th grade. And then you hear it all the time.
I've got the same thing. You can switch out a vowel and you get something similar.
And my favorite for my last name, for Alf, in case nobody knows, it's kind of pronounced like OFF, but with a little bit of an L to it. But somebody tried to pronounce it and just tried to pronounce every letter. And was like, not even the F, not even the PH as an F. It was a loop.
A loop.
A loop. I don't know if you can hear the H. A loop.
A loop. That sounds like something you babe with. You know, like I need to go to Walmart and pick up a loop. A loop. Or either that or that's the things that follow Willy Wonka around in the factory. But anyway, patreon.com/Nintendo Dads lets you into our Discord server and lots more, as well as monthly mayhem. So head on over like Steph and Jonathan did and become patrons of the show. You know what? It would be great, Justin, if we got. I'm just.
Hey, and Seth is in the chat. He says he pronounced it right.
Okay,
Hey-o.
great, awesome.
Sturgill.
I pronounce it like Sturgill. Okay, so here's the thing. Episode 300. If we got 3 new patrons, that would be super
amazing.
Cool. That'd be super cool. But anyway, let's dive
that's a lot easier than what Justin was trying to hope for and getting 300 live viewers.
I wanted 300 viewers.
Well, if Sean Capri, the Canadian Wonder Lad, would bring his audience over tonight, that would be
4 more people.
Maybe we can have Roger rate us.
Yeah. So let's dive right into the news. This week, Nintendo presented the Nintendo Treehouse Pikmin 3 Deluxe and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity update, I guess. And they also, very quickly after that, dropped the Pikmin 3 Deluxe demo, which, if you did not know, is available right now on Nintendo Switch. You can go check it out. Guys, I'm full disclosure, I was traveling yesterday when this happened and did not get home till like 9 o'clock last night. It was a 12-hour drive. I was completely exhausted, and I could not watch it because I was so tired. I just went straight to bed. And then today, I forgot about it. Because my hype level for Pikmin 3 is like below the barometer. So y'all just go at it. Like, I know you watched it, Justin. You did a big spiel on it over on YouTube. What happened during the Treehouse? Why is this important?
Yeah, so I think this is great for them to get their positioning out and marketing out for this, right? They have to be doing that again. I think Nintendo is, if we really think about it, actually, Nintendo has been doing a great job hitting their communication beats almost weekly since middle of August. So this was in line with it. They did a great about 40-minute stream with Pikmin showing how it worked. But the great thing they did there was a couple things to highlight, especially when you think of where this is positioned for the holiday season. They position it again as a family-friendly co-op game, local couch multiplayer, right? They showed the bingo battles. They talked about scaling difficulties, so they can really
co-op even in story mode.
Co-op in story mode
that
you can jump in and out of. And also the demo, as I recall, actually has that built into it. So you did a great job of positioning it. So if you think about it, this is again that spot that Luigi's mansion was in last year. And they really leaned into that Gooigi component of it well. So this is kind of the Gooigi component of it, but this is split screen. I thought they did a great job positioning it. I already have Pikmin 3 on the Wii U. I'm probably not going to go purchase it again. However, their local co-op component of it, like I was watching, I was like, my daughters would love this, right? I thought they did a great job. They did bring one thing up that like struck me instantly there, which is what they called Pikmin guilt. And I didn't have Pikmin guilt until they talked about Pikmin guilt, and now I have Pikmin guilt. And Pikmin guilt is when you throw your Pikmin out to die and you know they're going to die. Like the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one, and they're just killing them. So then I was like struck with guilt, and I was just taken down a notch.
Honestly, I thought Pikmin guilt was when you bought the game.
Oh, snap. I thought they did a great job positioning it. I think this game will do well. Interestingly enough, just for a fact, I did some quick Googling during the stream. On the Wii U, Pikmin 3 sold. Anyone want to take a guess? For those of you that didn't watch the stream, anyone want to take a guess how many units Pikmin 3 sold on the Wii U?
I watched your stream, so I'm not going to say anything.
1.27 million. So
really?
less than 10%. And the question was asked, is Pikmin actually a franchise big enough to genuinely kind of care about from a Nintendo perspective? And I guess I'm going to throw it to you guys. What's your history with Pikmin, and does this game actually really matter?
So I think I've said this on the show before, but I bought Pikmin 1, 2, and 3 and tried each and every one of them and never really got more than like 5 or 6 hours into each one. There's just something about the gameplay that does not click with me. I love the idea of Pikmin. I think it's absolutely charming. And I know that it's a wonderfully put together game.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you where the real sticking point for me is the time limit, the day to night cycle. Because I just think a game like that does not need that. There are natural consequences for the player that will cause them to lose or whatever without a time limit. And I think putting a time limit on it limits the fun of the game. And there was a big argument actually about this. Surprise, there's a big argument on the internet. A big argument about this over on the Nintendo voice chat group on Facebook today. About a guy who said the exact same thing. And I had never really realized that before, but for me, it is the time limit that makes it less fun.
Sure.
Because I'm constantly, instead of enjoying the game and enjoying the visuals and enjoying the experience, I'm constantly worried about, I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough time to do this. Why? And like, for those of you who've played it, you know, if you go in one direction and that's not where you're supposed to be, you're wasting time. Like, and that's it's going to be incredibly costly for you in the long run. And so I can't do it. It's like in the long run of like, I'm playing games to relax, and Pikmin stresses me out.
Yeah.
To the max. Now, like I guess, would you classify this a real-time strategy game?
I think that's how they do categorize it. It is an RTS, right? There is
yes, exactly.
Basically soldier management, right?
I in a lot of other real-time strategy games I've played, there's not been a time limit per se. You know, like I remember, and it's been years, so correct me if I'm wrong, that like the original Warcraft and StarCraft games did not have time limits in missions. Is that correct?
Not the person to ask.
Jesse, I feel like you've played it.
Very little.
StarCraft, I don't remember that, or even.
I played a little StarCraft. I don't remember time limits. No.
Now, some missions did have time limits. Like some missions had a outlast the enemy wave or get this done in this, but it was never like the mechanic of the game, right? So while I'm happy for people who are getting
the first Pikmin, that was kind of a story conceit to explain the time limit. So and then with 2, you know, when they did go do away with it sometimes, if you went underground, at that point, daylight doesn't matter. Then you have all the time you want.
Right.
But when you're back up on the surface, then you have your time limit again.
I just wish that it was. And then, and I think it got even more confusing with me, or complicated with for me with Pikmin 3, where you had to switch between different captains and command different Pikmin in different parts of the map. And I was like, I can't. I can't do it. So
I would.
I looked at a list of the top selling Wii U games, and tied for on the one I'm looking at, tied for 15th at 1 million is, you know, Hyrule Warriors and Pokken Tournament, and Pikmin 3 didn't even make it here. So that would make, you know, Pikmin 3 at least top 20 all Wii U games. So that isn't bad. It's just sounds worse when you say it only has a 10% attach rate, but very few games had more than that.
But I mean, I think when we talk about these games are being poured over from the Wii U, right? Like they, you know, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Captain Toad. I think the outliers are going to be your Mario, right? Your 3D World and your Deluxe, right? Because Mario is going to sell no matter what. But the other ones are about a 10% attachment rate. And we're kind of seeing, if I remember correctly, those numbers are kind of shaking out to about a 10% on the Switch as well. Just the install base is higher, so the sale looks higher, right? I want to just start to kind of segue out, because we do have a lot to talk about today. But I would say, if you're on the fence about Pikmin 3, check out the demo. Right. And by the way, the demo information crosses over as well. So if you complete stuff on there, I think you can unlock a special mode as well. I think it's in our notes here.
Ultra Spicy.
If you complete the demo, you're supposed to unlock Ultra Spicy game mode. If you don't play the demo, you can still unlock it by completing the game on the hard level.
Yeah.
I do love that they're putting out a demo. I think that's that's mindful of Nintendo that this is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, right? It is the new hotness for October, but with them putting out a demo, it kind of doesn't risk people buying it and then going, "Oh my, this is terrible," right?
Yeah.
But I mean, now we've seen pretty much that they've got the rest of the year lined up too. So because not only did we get Pikmin 3 info in this, we got Hyrule Warriors info as well.
Yeah, exactly. I thought they go ahead.
I was going to say we can kind of pivot to that.
Go on.
No, so I don't know anything what they talked about.
No, you go ahead, Marty. You talk. You go.
Well, they showed off 59 characters from Breath of the Wild. They were in the background, like the guy who gives you his house in that one town, and you could be the dog. And no,
I watched. So to be quite honest, I watched about half of it, and then I actually had to leave. So I ended our stream. I was like, gotta go. Bye. Hung up. But I will say, I think what I continue to be impressed with Age of Calamity is really the amount of time and care that development team has put in with Nintendo to be in that world that is Breath of the Wild. Every screenshot they were showing, every map overview, every menu option, every graphic icon, like it's Breath of the Wild. And so if you're a fan of that environment, you're a fan of that world, like this is going to, and their focus was, and they said, and this is the thing, because I've talked about being on the fence about Age of Calamity before, and it's like, I remember when we had Zach Ryan, I was like, I think I'm going to pass on it. Sitting there and listening to the developers talk about it, it's really that interstitial. It's that time beforehand. The thing I love them saying that really actually drew me in, enough that I actually went down and I have put pre-order on it now, is that they said, this is really focused on that relationship between the champions and their backstories and the history, not only of them individually, but how they're interconnected to each other and their stories there. And I was like, that's what I kind of wanted to know. So may not be a huge Dynasty Warriors fan. I'm not at all, but they have done enough here. They put enough of a coat of paint on it that looks like Breath of the Wild, feels like Breath of the Wild, that it's enough to draw me in. So I'm excited to give it a shot.
Yeah. Tim, what do you think about Hyrule Warriors? The more that you see about it, is it still some? I think you said originally you were definitely interested in this.
Heck yeah, I'm totally interested.
Is it just making you salivate more and more?
Yes, I want it right now in my hands to play, so I would probably stay up longer than I should playing that game if I had it right now. So. But yeah, I definitely am looking forward to it, especially like what Justin said about getting that history, that background story, and we all know how it's going to end, but I want to see that. I want to see how that ending's going to happen, you know? So, and I do love the warrior type games because they're hack and slash type games. So I'm all in. I'm like, yes, give it to me. I'm going to have brainless, fighting, hack and slash gaming going, and then I get this awesome story in the back end, go with it. I'm in.
I'm watching this as you talk, and I love, like, they're showing some gameplay of Urbosa, and the fact that they've been able to work in the powers, like the time stop and different things like that actually it's not just a mechanic on the map, it's actually used during fighting.
Nice.
And things like that. And I'm seeing here she's got like a wall jump, and to me, just watching them play it looks more intuitive than the original Hyrule Warriors.
And that's what we're hoping too, is all those years or all those previous games that they've done with Nintendo and then their own coming out with this game is going to be the best of those, those type of games. So
the cool part about this too is, like, I'm watching them play through this area where Urbosa is, and it's the actual map from Breath of the Wild. Like, it's the actual town that she was in, and like I'm seeing some of these things, like, oh yeah, right over there is where you got the seal and all that. It's just that I can't wait. Like, I'm all in on this game. I was gonna get the amiibo, and then I decided I'm not. I even went back and canceled my Cat Mario and Cat Peach amiibos. I'm just out of the amiibo game. Like
I didn't get the cat ones, but I did.
Well,
get
I had
these.
them pre-ordered, and then Joker and
you can't see them.
Yeah, Joker and Hero came out. I see you holding those up, and I was like, I just, I don't know. I may get one of the new fighter that was talked about that were revealed. Yes. You guys talked about him on the last show, but this week, Sakurai dropped a 45-minute long education dump on Steve coming to Smash Brothers. And guys, let me just tell you something. I mark my words right here. He's going to go down as one of the most fun characters to play in the entire game, for the entire history of the game. And all these people who are complaining about him, a bunch of them are going to end up maining him later on.
My son says he is going to be game changing. So it changes. Oh, absolutely. It changes the edging, the edge guarding game.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that Steve brings to the table. Steve plays completely different, and one of the things that Sakurai highlighted during this video is that you actually have to mine resources with Steve, which resulted in Sakurai and the Sora team having to completely revamp every level in Super Smash Brothers that had already been released to include
like 70.
Yeah, 70 or something, to include crafting points at those.
Add crafting points, add the ability to lay blocks, and add the terrain to mine.
Yes. So tons of stuff. Steve gets 2 alternate costumes. Alex gets 2 costumes, plus a zombie and an Enderman make 8 costumes. And his attacks range from weapons like the axe and the pickaxe and the sword, which will eventually break, and you have to put down a crafting table to rebuild or upgrade, to laying down dynamite or TNT, to a minecart, which I love that you could use the minecart, but if you don't have the resources for it, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. You have to have enough resources to continue creating track.
Simply mind-blowing what they have done with this, as well as, we could spend a whole thing on this. Redstone can be mined to power up the minecart for higher damage attacks. The final smash is called the House of Boom. He builds a house full of creepers and throws people in there. They explode. One of the things I noticed about his final smash, though, is, and maybe he's the only one that this is the case of, the actual final smash only hits one opponent. There's a piston that throws them into the house. The piston hits everybody, but only one opponent is thrown into the house.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I saw multiple people get hit by the piston, so I assumed all of them would get thrown into the house.
Only one. So that's going to change his final smash game too. Did you guys see Kirby, by the way, during this presentation?
Looks
absolutely fantastic.
He looks like QB from
QB. I love it. The new stage is called Minecraft World. It'll rotate through 6 biomes. 8 Minecraft enemies will be added to the spirit board. There's 7 music tracks in total. And guys, this comes out next Tuesday, along with Smash Brothers version 9.0.0, which brings with it 6 brand new Mii Fighter costumes, including 3 Minecraft characters, Creeper Pig and Diamond Armor, Gil from Tower of Daruga, Bomberman, and Travis Touchdown, thus erasing any hopes of him being a DLC character.
Roger was just, the look on Roger's face. He was heartbroken when he saw that.
Yeah.
I think this is interesting. So next week is Smash's DLC. Mm-hmm. The week after that is Pokemon's DLC. The week after that is Pikmin 3's release. There's something else the week after that, I thought. Like you can just start to see Nintendo's putting the cart.
From there is Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors. You know what it is? It is the Mario 35 Game & Watch.
Is the 13th.
Okay. The 13th.
Does that come out the same day as Hyrule Warriors?
No, Hyrule Warriors is the 20th. It's a week later.
Okay, so
there's something like this. There's something I think November 6th is missed. There's something in there, but you can start to see that they're just putting pieces up to begin to play, and just get you kind of re-engaged with the content, right? So.
And the crazy part about that, and the reason I want to mention this on the show, because I feel like if I mention it on the show, maybe it'll actually happen, is that Game & Watch still has not had a pre-order.
No, it has not. I feel like it's going to be
middle of the night,
survival of the fittest.
It's
going to be
I have mine pre-ordered from Amazon UK. They ship to the US.
How much? Okay, all right.
Well, here's the thing. It ended up being about $15 more expensive than what I was going to pay.
You ordered a couple of them, didn't you?
No,
like
I ordered
2 of them
because that was the limit.
Oh, you monster!
I only was able to get one. But anyway, all those costumes come out, and all this was also announced during the Minecraft Live event. And during that, it was also announced that Minecraft Dungeons, which a few of our folks in the community have talked about playing, is also updating to crossplay between platforms in November, and a brand new DLC is coming out in December that we did not know about before. It's called the Howling Peaks DLC to add to the game. So,
is that a free DLC, the Howling Peaks?
So from what I understand, and this is, I paid, because I bought Minecraft Dungeons for my son.
Yep.
Or actually, he bought it. He paid for the DLC. Yep. The first 2 DLC packs were like $29.99, I think, or $24.99.
Yeah.
There's not been a price announced with this, so I'm feeling like if you bought the DLC edition, because they've now released a Minecraft Dungeons Hero Edition physically.
Yeah.
I think it's coming free.
Yeah.
It's free if you've already.
Yeah, exactly. Minecraft Dungeons, I mean, this came out in May of this year, and this is a game that I think some people just kind of slept on. There was a lot of buzz about it. I know like Sean Capri was really hyped on it on the Xbox side. I want to think it was part of a Game Pass as well.
Absolutely.
So it could have been, right? A lot of people are excited about it. This is a really actually great game. A couple things I really like about it. 2-player, or is it up to 4-player local co-op?
Hey, by the way, I just want to cut in here for just a second, because I feel like this is an important news break.
Breaking news.
The Super Mario pin set is back up at my Nintendo right now. If you did not get one during the first round, like your code, you went in and it couldn't go. It is, as of 11 minutes ago, Eric Plunk, good friend of the show, has posted that the pin set is back up.
Thanks, Marty. There goes all 5 of our Twitch viewers. Out the door.
By the way, some people are starting to get these. They're gorgeous. Mine still are processing. I'm starting to get worried.
Mine's in shipment. I think I'll get it tomorrow.
I cannot get one. I cannot get one.
Because you got the digital version.
This is the oddest, like, I'm complaining because I got something else free. Nintendo sent us a code for Super Mario 3D, so I redeemed the code, but that doesn't count in regards to it because it's not a purchase code, so therefore I don't get the pen set.
Oh. Maybe somebody will give you a pen set.
Nobody in the right mind should do that. I'm just being a whiny baby.
They shouldn't. I was fishing there.
That's okay.
So anyway, back to Minecraft Dungeons. Totally agree with you.
Yes.
Totally sleeper game. Yeah. Totally unappreciated. By the way, parents, this is a fantastic game to play with your kids because you can play multiplayer couch co-op, and it's Diablo light. You don't have to worry about any of the themes. It's deep enough for dad and mom, but fun enough for son and daughter.
Yeah, and the other, and a great example. So one of the families that we hang out with a lot there is they have a young son, and I've kind of got him into video games now. He doesn't have a video game console, any of this. His mom probably hates me for doing it. But he comes over and it's all the rest of them are all girls. They're all playing doing their things. He's like, can I play on the Switch? And so sometimes I'm just like hanging out with my wife and her. So I'm like, sure, look at, I'm hanging out, but you can take the Switch. And what's the game he goes to every single time? Minecraft Dungeons. And I'm going to tell you, he never had played Minecraft beforehand, but it's easy, it's accessible. He loves playing it. I think, Minecraft Dungeons, I think, is a game that a lot of people overlooked. If you're thinking, sure, look, it's too much or whatever, throw out your like wish list. But I can guarantee you, like it's worth. I think it's like $30. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the initial game is probably a little short because he beat it in a weekend by himself.
Sure. Yeah.
But with the 3 DLC packs coming in, I asked him today. I was like, "Did you know about this?" No, he was so excited. He's like, "I guess I should beat the other 2 DLC packs." Because he's like, they're too hard. I can't beat them. And I was like, you know what, buddy? We'll work on that.
It's called grinding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then Marty's like, get good, son.
Play the harder difficulty levels and grind more.
I can't say that to him. He's way ahead of me on Fortnite right now, and he beat Mario Odyssey first. So get good is not something I say to him. He's on his way.
Miz in the chat says the pins are gone already.
Oh, my gosh. Y'all.
That was a real emotional journey for our fans.
Scalp City.
Just take their emotions.
Yuck.
The last 5 that were left, we just sent people there, and that's why there's none left.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's about all of our news, isn't it? I think we need to get into some rumors.
Yeah, we need to move along.
All right, guys. So this is going to be a sticky one to talk about, I think. Most people who own a Nintendo Switch at some point have dealt with something that we all like to call Joycon Drift.
Or don't like to call one, depending on who you are.
By roll call here in and among this podcast, how many of us have sent Joy-Cons in to be fixed or fixed Joy-Cons?
3 pair.
All of us, right? I sent 3 pair of my sons in as well to be fixed. Well, apparently a rumor is going around that Nintendo is arguing, quote, that Joy-Con Drift, quote, isn't a real problem or hasn't caused anyone any inconvenience. Now, while we laugh at this...
wasn't this like in court as a response to one of the many lawsuits? Maybe?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is apparently from an email. A Reddit user sent an email to the law firm Chimicles, Swartz, Kreiner, and Donaldson Smith, who are involved with the case. And in their reply back, this is what they said. This is a quote from the email. We're working on putting together a montage of video clips from Nintendo Switch owners such as yourself as a way to give voice to the Joy-Con Drift issues you've experienced. This will be helpful to us responding to Nintendo's arguments about how this isn't a real problem or has it caused anyone inconvenience. So, since this is coming from a law firm who's working on the case that's been, by the way, the case is being brought to court by a mom and her 9-year-old son.
More importantly, though, could you tell them how much they're trying to settle for?
I actually don't know that number.
$5 million.
$5 million.
They're trying to settle for $5 million.
$5 million. Now that's a little exorbitant, I think.
Well, but if they're not just suing for themselves; they're suing as
it's a class action.
Action. So that's very likely because the lawyer, if it wins, the lawyers are going to get half, and then the last $2.5 million will be split amongst the 1 million people who sign up. Everyone gets $2.
Yay!
That's how these things work.
Justice. That'll buy us a new set of Joy-Cons. Not. So here's my question.
The lawyers are the only winners in a class action lawsuit.
Why would Nintendo say this? When they've pretty much admitted it's a problem when they chose to start fixing them free of charge. Right?
Well, actually, here's the thing: I don't think Nintendo's. So here's the thing that's happened: Nintendo has never admitted it, and despite here's the thing.
And I don't think every region does this.
And despite them saying send them over and we won't charge you for it, right? They're not taking fault in that. They're not actively raising their hand and saying this is an issue. What they're saying is that to be a customer centric or customer first organization, if you're having challenges with your Joy-Con, we will be happy to repair them despite warranties. So there's actually some like fine tipping walking around that they're probably able to get away without raising their hands to say it's an issue. The Joy-Con, So the thing that always amazes me is I think the Nintendo Switch is probably one of the coolest systems ever, if not the coolest, right? And there may be a bit of recency bias. But when I look at it, I'm like, look at this. Like, we've got, BioShock right beside. We've got Super Mario Sunshine right beside Hades, right beside Fortnite, right beside, like, all these amazing, tremendous games that are just absolutely incredible, right? But the absolutely Achilles heel to that system is their Joy-Con. And that will it is not quite the red ring of death for Nintendo, but it is definitely area. It's close to that. And that has caused them a headache and a half. And if there's anything I really hope that they do for the Nintendo Switch Pro, it is spend time and due diligence resolving that issue. And I sometimes wonder if the reason why we aren't seeing, so this year we have not seen any Joy-Con, separate Joy-Con color variants other than obviously the Animal Crossing ones. And I wonder if they're just trying to let's not draw more attention to the Joy-Cons, right? Let's just let them be until we try and resolve or end up fixing this problem. But I don't know.
Part of me kind of hopes this is a translation thing, a mistranslation, which happens often if it's a message from Nintendo and from NCL. But I don't know if this is an NCL message or a Nintendo of America message. I don't know who supposedly said this. I know very little about this rumor.
Or could it be in this in the preparation for this trial, these lawyers are saying, here are the possible scenarios that Nintendo could say they could say it's not really caused any harm, it's not really done this, it's not really done that. So that's we're preparing.
Also likely, defense prep. That's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tim, what do you think? You're awfully quiet.
We've talked about this a bunch of times, right? So it's just, I'm frustrated just as much as anybody else. I've done a video on showing how I repair it, and it's mostly worked. And I've had to do that repair a few times on my son's old yellow ones, and it's actually worked the last time I did the cleaning on it. So I haven't had to touch them in several months now. So, in fact, since I did that video, I haven't had to touch them. So
that's awesome.
Here's what I think they should do. Maybe, Tim, they should hire you for this. They need to do a Nintendo Joy-Con official teardown. And you're just in this white sterilized room.
Right.
You could just
like the PS5 teardown, but a Joy-Con.
That might have been exactly what I was aiming at, Jesse. Thank you for connecting the dots for those that couldn't get there by themselves. I appreciate you.
If I could set up my room to do that, I would do some dramatization of me doing the Joy-Con.
The only thing I'll say about that PS5 breakdown, that heatsink is glorious.
I have no words on how to move.
The bottom line is, I don't even think this goes to trial until late next year.
Yeah. What I was going to say was my frustration overall with this is what it's trying to talk about, which is that they continue to market and sell the products with full knowledge of the defect and without disclosing the Joy-Con drift or creating something new. Like we're talking about, why haven't they come out with something that says, they don't have to call it out, but I guess it's necessarily they will if they do come out with a new improved Joy-Con.
They could just stride up into court swinging their arms like Vince McMahon and be like, we did create something that fixed this. It's called a Pro Controller. Case closed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like I said,
I think that's what they should do. I'm just saying it's there.
Yeah, and
they could totally claim the other controller options, and it'd be perfectly valid. I don't know.
Except for the games where it's not.
I'm interested to see if Nintendo has some sort of numbers that might not become public because of the case.
Those numbers will never become
right,
public.
But I wonder if there is some
they
numbers.
Know the numbers.
Oh yeah,
of how many have been sent back.
We've sold how many pair of Joy-Cons, and this many pair have come back.
Yeah, this is how many we've had to fix.
If a percentage even leaks, it's not going to be good. I don't think it's going to be.
So I will say, okay, how many pairs of Joy-Cons do I have? I have 4 pairs of Joy-Cons. Yes, and I believe I have sent back every pair at some point, and I believe I've actually sent 1 pair back twice.
Wow. Well, speaking of Joy-Cons, I don't know if this is happening up in Canadian land for you. But I was at my Walmart today and saw Animal Crossing Switches in the wild.
Let me tell you this. All right, I got to tell you a quick story about this one. So I went into, and follow me on this one because I need your help here, folks. I went into EB Games, doing my pre-order for Age of Calamity, and I said, "Yeah, here's my money." And I noticed that they had the Animal Crossing Switch units. I was like, "Oh, those are in, fantastic." And I was like, just for curiosity, how much are you buying back the other Switches? So the worker says to me, 275 Canadian. Now, just as a reference point, in Canada, the Switch is 400. 400. It is 400.
That's still not bad.
No, I was like 275, and I was like, because Marty, I'm in the same situation as you. My fan, when I get this thing going,
$1.25.
It's like, yeah. I'm like, it's good. This is the time, right?
But you know why you're in a better position than me? Because the grading on yours isn't broken off.
That could be.
They're not going to buy mine.
So I'm super tempted, but the thing that I'm worried about, and I put in our Discord chat, is that transfer, right, of Animal Crossing. And if I'm going to lose all that stuff, and like I've got too many hours. The kids are in there. Like I'm really concerned about that transfer.
Don't you have to contact them directly? Like you have to make a contact and be like, okay, so I've gotten a new Switch. Tell me what to do. Nintendo gurus, not the Nintendo guru.
Yeah, he doesn't know. Well, he's got enough Switches. He should.
The thing is that's what I was gonna say. He probably does know how to do the transfer.
Probably does.
He just bought another one, another Switch. I don't know which one, but I heard a recent episode, and he just bought another one just to create another island for Animal Crossing.
Really? Well, sure. We can have a different conversation about that.
Altogether. We know why he's doing that because his audience loves what he does with Animal Crossing.
Absolutely, so they should.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that is. We'll let you know how that turns out because right now it's just a rumor. We'll see if there's where there's smoke, there's fire. Let's discuss a couple of important things, shall we?
Do it.
So as we said at the top of the show, this is the 300th episode of Nintendo Dads. That means 6 years or so of podcasts from the guys here at Nintendo Dads headquarters, and it's been an awesome ride. It's been fantastic. We have I can't really say for the whole 6 years how it's been. If you guys remember, I think I joined in about 3-4 years ago, and have really enjoyed my time here. For those of you who maybe have been listening or new listeners, I don't know any of these people in real life. Like I think Justin and Jesse have met. Mm-hmm. I don't know that Tim and none of us have met. I did meet Dan from Dad Crossing, or former host of Dad Crossing, in Texas while I was down there this week.
Yeah, I saw that picture.
That was awesome.
And I know that Justin and Zach know each other. I don't think Jesse and Zach have ever met. No. I know Justin and Gary know each other.
And Justin's been at Jesse's.
Yeah, I've been to Jesse's.
Apparently, we have a surprise.
Yes. Yes, okay. You do.
What?
So, as everybody knows, we launched our new store essentially at TeePublic, and anybody who wants to go see our new store, it's at nintendodads.org/merch. You can get to that store pretty quickly from there.
And I like the extra text you added in, rerouting in 5, 4, 3.
Yes,
2. That's cute. I like that.
So get there and you can see some of the logos we've done before, and we'll hopefully be adding more. And in fact, we'll be adding one more today. And in recognition of that one more, I will share the screen so whoever's watching can see it. And Jesse is preparing for that.
I'm ready for it.
As long as I can share the screen. Is sharing on?
I thought I set it on. Yep, it's on.
All right, so as I'm trying to do there it is. I had to look for the button there. All right, I'm going to share the newest creation for our store, which celebrates if it'll let me share. Can you guys see it?
Oh, wow.
The 300, celebrating 300 episodes and 6 years of podcasting, the Nintendo Dads, where it has our 6 avatars on there, and
that's nice. That's really cool, Tim.
Wow.
That is our. Now, I didn't create this. I had some say in it. I actually created the jumping Zach, in fact, in the background, the golden Zach with the microphone in the background. I did put that together for them to use, but I said, this is what I want. Here's all the elements. Put it together. And TeePublic actually put this together for us.
Wow.
And we didn't have to pay anything for it as long as we can get 25 people to buy it.
On a t-shirt?
25 people. No, actually, it'll always be free. We don't have to pay anything, even if we don't get enough people to buy it.
No, I will tell you, though, if we get 25 people to buy it, Justin will wear it and then take his shirt off on the podcast.
Absolutely.
So, but yes, they did this for us for free.
That is awesome.
Surprise that we will get this added to the store, and people can get, t-shirts, pins, stickers, whatever.
That's so cool.
Not only is it celebrating 300 episodes, but you see there it says, and 6 years of podcasting.
That is very cool.
Congratulations, Nintendo Dads.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you, TeePublic.
While Tim is, thank you, TeePublic, and thank you, Tim, for kind of starting to get that together. While he's kind of undoing the screen share thing here, just 300 episodes, guys. What has been something you've loved about 300 episodes and doing this, and what are you looking forward to in the future?
I've always, kind of Justin kind of mentioned it earlier. It's just, we have, that one day a week where we just have like-minded people. We can just geek out with each other, and I talk Nintendo sometimes with my wife, but she's like, yeah, okay, thank you. And so it's fun to have actually get feedback and be able to have a conversation other than just being an info dump to someone who may or may not care.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to?
Just with more of the same. I don't think I don't have anything specific in mind for future. I haven't been that forward thinking on pretty much anything in a while.
Right. This has not been the year for forward thinking.
Yeah, the most forward thinking is hoping my daughter can move out again someday. But
fair enough.
Yeah, in fact, I went to the doctor's. Small side note, but went to the doctor and she said we're hoping we're hoping 2021 will be a better year, and I'm like, that's a low bar. Right. She goes, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Hashtag dad struggles.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What about Tim, Justin? Something you've loved about 300 episodes, and what are you looking forward to?
Tim, I'll let you go first.
Just the honor to be a part of this with you guys. It's awesome, especially coming from it as a fan when I started out in 2016, in the Wii U era, and getting to see everybody who's come through, when I was a part of it, when you guys used to do the Google meetings, and seeing Sean come through and everybody else, and Roger. I even went back and watched, what was it, the beta episode 4 or 5 where Roger was on there. And it was just crazy just to go back and relive some of the things I missed, or even relive some of the things I got to experience as a fan.
Which reminds me, I still need to get some of those older episodes back on the feed that fell off. I haven't had a chance to do that yet.
I think Zach even has them on his website, because you guys might have started it, not his website, but his YouTube channel. I think you guys started off with that before you created the Nintendo Dash channel. But anyways, I just remember, like I think I mentioned this before, one of my first questions to you guys back in 2016, I think it was, like any other dad who comes on and finds you guys, the question of, how do you find time to play games? How do you find time to podcast and play games and work and be with your family and all that kind of stuff? And that was one of my questions in the Facebook chat group, and that you guys are in. So, and then getting
it's
involved.
easier when they're older.
Yes. Getting
Right.
involved with the line chat and doing that and how that went, and that was a lot of fun. So it's been a blast. So I appreciate again the opportunity to be on here with you guys and be a part of the show and get to experience it from this side. So it's pretty cool.
Justin, what about you?
Yeah, I think for me, having gone through this now for 6 years, I think the thing that always gets me is a couple things. Just first, like this, just hanging out, right to the point that we made before. I don't know any of you face to face, but I feel like other than Jesse, right? But feel like we have a really good relationship, a good friendship, a genuineness, right? And I know that we support each other and help each other. The other part I would say,
he and I has a different perspective than you two. We're never fans of ourselves because we started the show.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Right.
I'm a fan of myself.
Yeah, I get tired of Tim asking me to send him headshots. I was like, oh my god, Tim again, another one. Click. Okay, this is me. I think the other thing there's two things I'm going to say I'm really kind of proud of before I segue to what I'm hoping for. What people don't see, I guess these are connected, is the amount of effort that goes on behind the scenes to keep this dumpster fire rolling every single week, and the amount of work that people I think just think that we just show up here like for 2 hours and ramble. But you got
to remember, it's not a fire yet because that's how much work we're putting into it to make sure the fire doesn't start back up.
The amount of prep, the amount of work, the amount of effort that goes into this. We've kind of got it down to a relatively well-oiled machine, and we all kind of play a part and do our role. And I think that's pretty incredible. And I don't say that enough to you guys, but I know that there's so much that I'll send you a DM and say like, I need this thing done, and here's the thing, and you guys are just amazingly responsive. Yeah. And I think there's
another YouTube claim.
Yeah, exactly. Jesse, fix that. And then I think the other part to add into that, and I will always say this is the response is our community. 110%, right? Like that is something that I'm always shocked and amazed by the amount of people who, whether it's in our Discord or it's on the Patreon, who are supporting each other, who are helping each other, who are there during good times and bad times, like-mindedness, having civil disagreements, and not being, and then actively saying, I want to be part of this, right? I want to make a video. I want to do a podcast. I'm passionate about these things. I want to provide a voice as a dad. Can I do that? Yeah. I never really thought that this would change into a vehicle for others to use in the way that we were using. And I think that evolution to that is, I think, probably the thing I'm the most proud of. And the thing that also makes me feel like it's okay to leave, if that ever makes sense. I think there was always this idea of well, if Jesse or I leave or Zach, the whole thing burns. And I truly don't believe that. I believe that I'm just keeping a seat warm until somebody else shows up and does a much better job than I do. Which isn't that hard, to be very honest, right? And then where do I really hope? Well, what am I most excited for? I'm most excited to sell this fiasco to IGN for a boatload of money and then retire in Bermuda for something. That's really actually why I'm not leaving, because I'm afraid the moment I do, that's what's going to happen, and I didn't sign legal paperwork. So that's what I'm really concerned about.
Yeah, you're talking about all the effort that goes into it, and little mini plug here: the $10 and higher patrons gets a recording of our pre-show talk and our post-show talk, which usually, is at least 40 minutes. Sometimes can go up to over an hour. So that's just that much extra work. The night of recording. Yeah. And then there's other stuff that goes on, throughout the week.
If you want to listen to Justin for 40 minutes, learn how to delegate to Tim and Jesse, and try and get Marty to do something, it's a really good tier to come in to do something. It's a really good tier to jump into.
Okay. Anyway, I was going to say something really nice about you, but I'm not now.
Oh.
So I know you're crushed. No, seriously. This is no, like, I know this is a lot of navel gazing right now, but I don't care. We've recorded 300 episodes and people are here for this. So here's the deal. I'll never forget the day that I was like, and this is real behind the scenes. I approached Justin about starting Nintendo Dad South, which was going to be like me and a couple other guys. What would be like Nintendo Dads with a Southern flair, and it would have been like the first, the first, I guess, expansion of what we now have as the Nintendo Dads Network with 4 shows on it. And so I'll never forget the message he sent back. And he's like, well, actually, we were just talking about bringing you on the show permanently. And I was like, okay. All right. So this is cool. The hype leading up to that was, for me in my life personally, was super cool. Because I was a fan of the show. I was a weekly listener. I was a patron of the show. And so having jumped in I jumped in around the time of the Switch reveal, the NX reveal. It was pretty much about a month before that, and leading up to the Switch being released, and now riding the wave of the Switch through 3 years has been awesome. And I know you guys, like, those of you who listen, Justin was right. You don't know a lot of what goes on behind the scenes. Like, if you just get to, and this is, I'm not slamming anybody in any way by saying this, but like, if you just consume the content, either via podcast or YouTube first looks or videos or reviews or Justin Jabbers or whatever, you don't know the immense amount of work that these 3 men put in behind the scenes every week, coordinating a community of content creators, creating logos and editing podcasts and uploading and doing back-end stuff on websites and stuff that, quite frankly, this is not a job for us. It's a hobby. It's, it's us just doing what we love. It's guys sitting around talking about Nintendo. But because of our fans, it's become something so much more than that. I think that to me is the best thing about 300 episodes, is like looking at, not just like, I'm not going to sit here and say it's all about what we've created, because it's not. It's about what our fans have helped us create. Yeah. It's about, it's what our fandom has been a part of, either on the Discord or watch it on YouTube every Thursday night, or splitting off into new shows, or running contests for us, or becoming community managers, or podcast hosts, or whatever it is. And, this has been like my constant, like, in the middle of, like, the last couple of years of my life have been real stressful and real busy work wise. 2020 has been an absolute crapshoot for everybody, and this has been my oasis in the middle of that. It's been, I look forward to Thursday nights every week to get to be a part of this. Whenever Justin sends me a message and I get the Discord notification, and the first thing I see is interested with question mark. Like, I get excited because I'm like, I'm going to make another video. I'm going to do it tonight after we get done recording for a game that you'll see on our channel this weekend. But like, as for what is to come, I really am interested in us doing some kind of live meetup when we get to that point. When the world can get on with itself again. Like, I got to hang out with Dan this weekend for just about an hour at a restaurant in Texas, and that was such a cool little bit. There was a time in Nashville about probably 2 years ago that I hung out with Brian and Cool Zach and their wives and my wife, and we had some chicken and we had some ice cream and played Mario Kart, and it was fantastic. I loved that, and I caught the vision for that then. I was like, Nintendo Dad Con.
And the funny part that if we're talking about, again, a little bit of inside baseball behind the scenes part that a lot of people don't know, is that we have been strategically aiming towards an event, and we were in 2020, right? There was thoughts of most of us actually heading to PAX East. At one point, that time didn't work. We had Jesse lined up to head over to to do E3 live, and then we were planning the other part of that PAX East lineup. We were looking at PAX West, and we had got some pricing. We had done some early research of that. And of course, everything went to hell in a handbag. So, for best intentions, we were there. But I think the other part of it, and I think that we would, get to that point one day, right, is what I think we want to do. The other part of it as well, I think, Marty, is that idea that just how much fuel the community gives us, I think. And I've felt this so many times. I've just been tired, right, putting in effort and other things, exhausted from parenting, working, a lot of other things. But I mean, a little bit of an example, this is no shot, right? It was Nick Metzger, right, who reached out to us on Discord. And he's like, hey, so guys, what's going on with Extra Life 2020? And I was like, oh my God, we haven't even, what? We got to plan this thing, don't we? And I was like, oh, son of a gun. But it was like, that was the shot I needed. I was like, all right, we got a community who's excited about this. Let's go. Let's be that platform. Let's be that. Let's mano a mano. Let's go, Mega Dads. Let's do it again. Right. So our community really like kind of lifts us and brings us through stuff. And hopefully, again, they find rest in this much like we find rest with them. So,
yeah.
Roy Porter in the chat says, DadCon 2021, white socks with sandals are required. I'm on board.
Nice. Yes, Roy. Yes. Let's go.
If you ain't crocking, you ain't rocking.
That's nice. I like it.
I'm coming in with it down in 4-wheel drive, and those of you who wear Crocs, you'll know what that means. But guys, it's such a fantastic time to be celebrating 300 episodes. Here's to 300 more, is what I say. And speaking of 3, let's talk about this fun little 3DS top 10 list that we have been building. Now,
and this is the real reason why everybody's here.
Yeah, that's right. Famously, if you go back to one of my first episodes on the show, I believe it was actually the first episode as a full-time cast member, you will know that I got on the bad side of Justin Madison by kicking Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze off of the all-time top 10 Wii U list. Justin, it's a solid 10.5. I got to say that after all these years. It's a solid 10.5. It just
out of 11?
No, 10.5.
Out of 11?
No,
out of 100.
It's an 11 out of 10.
Yep. Exactly it.
But what we've done over the last few weeks, for those of you who maybe are just tuning in for the first time, and if you are, welcome, new fans, we have put together our own personal host top 10 list. Then we solicited top 10 lists from our community, which we then combined together to form the mega list, the Voltron list of 3DS top 10 games.
Yeah. So I'm not going to get into big details about what I did, but basically I definitely wasn't expecting the result turnout we did get. So the original plan was we would weight ourselves a little bit higher, being as the hosts, and listeners would have their say to probably adjust the list a little bit. We had 25 other people give their input. I don't think the weighting mattered anymore after that.
Right. So just a little bit of breakdown with this. 84 games in total were mentioned. 38 of those games were only mentioned once. And one game was mentioned the most with 27 out of 29. So it appeared on 27 out of 29 lists, and that was Super Mario 3D Land. And we'll see where that lands here in the list. So we're going to start from number 10 and go back all the way to number 1. And what we'll do with number 10 is, instead of giving you the score, which to me I think is kind of confusing.
Yeah, the score doesn't matter. That was just my sorting.
So we'll talk about how many lists the games were mentioned on as well. All right. So coming in at number 10 on our official 3DS top 10 list is Kirby Planet Robobot, mentioned 8 out of 29 times. Did all of us play this game?
I did not.
Okay, so 3 out of 4 of us played it. Probably, just a little bit of commentary here, is probably my favorite Kirby game on the 3DS.
I've been hearing that a lot.
It was...
Not just on the 3DS, but period.
Like Triple Deluxe was okay, but Robobot really shines, and it's very solid.
The Andros says, did that many 3DS games even come out?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you would be surprised how many came out. Coming in at number 9 with mentioned 9 times in 29 lists was Super Smash Brothers for 3DS.
Before we move on, just say, just because it was mentioned more times than another game doesn't mean it ranked higher, because a game could have been listed number 1 twice, and then a different game could have been listed number 7 18 times. That number 1 is still going to have the more points.
Yeah. It depended on where it was on people's lists, where it was weighted. So, and we'll see that a little bit later on. So just because you hear a higher mention number doesn't mean that's why it got there.
It definitely helps, though.
It does. I love the fact that this is the only Smash Brothers game that got a demo. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
The demo came out, I think it was about a month before. And wasn't it like you could only play it so many times, like it was numbered, like you
most of the demos in the 3DS had a 30 play before it self-destructed. A few of them actually went down to 10. I think this one might have been a 10er. But I don't remember.
30. I don't know. Somebody will probably correct us.
It could have. It was either 10 or 30.
Yeah, my favorite parts included Mega Man in the demo. That was what I was hoping for the whole time. Coming in number 8 on the list, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon was mentioned 10 times. And such a fantastic game. If you've not played Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon and you still own a 3DS, it's in the Nintendo Selects at this point. You can get it for $20, and it really introduces a lot of mechanics that you end up seeing in Luigi's Mansion 3. And so I would definitely go check that out. My son still owns this. I think, or maybe it's my cart that he has. I need to play through this again. It'd be my spooky Halloween game. Coming in number 7, Mario Kart 7.
That wasn't planned at all.
Mario Kart 7's in at number 7, mentioned on 11 lists. Number 6, Fire Emblem Awakening, mentioned on 12 lists. Coming in at number 5.
Well, I was going to say all 3 Fire Emblem games were mentioned. In fact, one person actually mentioned all 3 by himself, but that was the one that had the most scores.
That was John, wasn't it?
I don't remember. I can look, but I don't remember.
I think I'm pretty sure he had Fire Emblem Awakening as number 1. He said he was going to. Getting into the top 5, Animal Crossing New Leaf, mentioned 12 times on lists, along with Fire Emblem. It comes in at number 5. Number 4, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, mentioned 11 times. There you see, mentioned less but higher weighted. Coming in at number 3, Metroid Samus Returns at 14 out of 29. Solid pick there. And number 2, this is the number 2 3DS game of all time, according to us, Super Mario 3D Land, mentioned on 27 of 29 lists. Comes in at number 2, which leaves us with the number 1 number 1 3DS game of all time. I've already spoiled it. The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, coming in at 23 of 29 lists. The
way the scoring ended up working is it was like low score wins, because if we said it was first on the list, it was 1 point. To bottom of the list got 10 points, and then so the overall aggregate score for the top 2 games are like 8.3, 8.8. And in fact, they were flipping back and forth for a while as we got more entries in, so I wasn't sure how they'd land. Number 3 scores 16, so there was nowhere close to getting to the top 2. It was a fight between those 2 games from the start.
Yeah, so and the point spread, to explain that from you guys, is the number 1 game had an 8, the number 10 game had a 20. So, it was a 12-point spread.
The theoretical worst score is 24. Basically, it means any game that was never mentioned on any list has a score of 24.
So, with all this wrapped up, and with the 3DS going bye-bye, do you guys agree with this list? Is there anything that surprised you about this list?
I'd be curious, and again, and maybe that's something that I should have done, is I'd be curious about the sales correlation between some of these, just in regards to how many units are sold and that as well. I don't think so. I mean, I think definitely the top two. Like whether it was going to be 3D Land or Legend of Zelda, I think that was just the battle out for it. I think those are both if someone was to say to me, and this is the great part about the 3DS. If someone says, "Hey, I'm getting a 3DS. What games should I get?" Like there is such a tremendous lineup of games to pick up, and at your disposal. Like you can list off 5 of them, and be spot on, right? And be and fit perfectly. So I don't have any huge quarrels with this. There's nothing here that really shocks me. I was actually kind of a little bit shocked that RoboBot actually hit the list.
I was kind of surprised about that too, even though it's a
and I was kind of thinking Smash was going to be a little bit higher, because again it was the first handheld Smash, so I thought there might. Go ahead, Tim.
So Justin, I pulled up really quickly as of the end of last year, or the beginning of this year, or end of last year, Nintendo Life did a top 10 best-selling Nintendo 3DS games.
Yep.
And that list, assuming they got the numbers from Nintendo, top 10 or number 10 was Tamagotchi Life.
Yep.
6.55 million
Ranked
sold
24.
there. Number 9, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon with 8.70 million.
That was a game that was only mentioned once, I think.
Yeah, wow. I was actually shocked Pokemon didn't appear at all. Sorry, continue, Tim.
Number 8, Super Smash Bros. Okay. 9.57 million.
Okay.
Number 7, Animal Crossing New Leaf with 12.45 million.
Yeah.
Number 6, Super Mario 3D Land, 12.67 million.
6.
Yep.
It was an early game, so
yeah.
But
it's Mario. I would have thought it would have kept selling. Sorry, go ahead.
Number 5, New Super Mario Bros. 2, 13.32 million.
Not even on our list.
Number 4, Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire for 14.26 million.
Wow.
Mario Brothers 2 was 11th.
Okay.
Okay.
Pokemon Sun and Moon is 16.18 million. Now, I'm thinking just for a moment there, I thought Omega Ruby and Sapphire, and number 2 is Pokemon X and Y. I thought those were DS games.
Yeah, so did I.
Not 3DS games.
No, X and Y was 3DS.
Was it 3DS?
The last DS games were Black, White, Black 2, and White 2.
Okay.
It was the first Pokemon.
Wow.
Can I guess what number 1 is? Can I guess?
But before you guess, 16.44 million on X and Y.
Yeah.
So go ahead and guess.
Mario Kart 7, number 1.
Nope.
Really?
No, you're right. I just, I was waiting for Jesse to say, press that button. And Justin was right. Justin was right. But yes,
we have a bumper for it, Jesse. It hurts, I know.
Justin was right. Justin was right. Justin was right.
Yeah, that makes 100% sense. Not the Justin was right part, but the number 1.
That was 18.68 million.
Yeah.
I hate it that you're right, but
so again, we see Mario Kart in the lead of this, right?
Sales wise, yes.
Sales wise, right? And now we don't. Wait, we should have. I'm sorry, I just got really excited there. I was like, we get new MPD numbers at the end of this month. I've been so excited.
It will be exciting.
Not only that, we should get quarterly numbers at the end of the month.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see.
Look, MPD numbers at the end of the month. Here's a prediction for you. Ready? Animal Crossing, number 1 selling Nintendo Switch game of all time.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Is that's the thing that I'm very interested in. Is did Animal Crossing, since the last report, did it pull ahead enough to pass the pace that don't mind the pun, the pace that Mario Kart has been keeping? So it means it has to have sold like another 4 to 5 million in 3 months.
Yeah.
And the pace that the pace that Mario Kart is going at has to have slowed down for it to be passed. That's the question. Is it possible that the king has been dethroned in a 6-month time spot? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the news that I want to hear.
That would be amazing if it is.
And I'm interested in knowing where 3D All Stars lands. Because that'll definitely be on that top 10 list.
Oh, it'll be on there, but I'm wondering, and how much of that is because of it's a limited time offer.
Well,
I think it's going to be.
As I said last week, they wanted to squeeze 15 million sales instead of over 3 years to 15 million sales over the fiscal year.
I bet you it doesn't. I bet you, if you want to put down, if someone wants to put this in the notes, I bet you it's not cracking 10 million. You know what? Hold on. That's not even a fair. That's not even a fair statement.
I'm just saying. I don't think it's going to be that high yet, but I think it will before the end of fiscal year.
Yeah, because
this is going to be a big push in March.
It only had
at the end
12 days, so probably cracked 2 to 3 million.
Bit more than that.
Sure.
But we'll
I think
find out.
5. I think 5.
Yeah, Animal Crossing did.
Okay.
That is a topic for another show.
Sorry.
As we hang on, as we close the case here on the 3DS, is there anything else you want to add to the list? Anything else you want to say? Because we're never going to talk about the 3DS again on the show. Thank God.
It's been Marty's dream for 3 years, and we stopped talking about it.
I'm sure I've got some backlog games I'll be playing on the 3DS.
I've actually been picking mine up and playing it just as like nostalgia, like for the feels.
Yeah. I still have Dragon Quest 7 and 9 in my backlog.
There you go.
That I want to play again.
Okay. My comment would be this: I really legitimately think it has one of the best catalogs of availability with the DS accessibility, with the 3DS accessibility, the eShops. Right, like that was the first place I played Earthbound. Right,
yeah.
Like just there's so much good content on that system. It's really hard to knock it.
It just kind of sucks that like the swan song of the Wii U was Breath of the Wild. The swan song of the 3DS was Sushi Strikers.
Yeah.
Or Persona Q2.
And Persona Q2.
And like Luigi's Mansion remastered.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Basically,
that was like the last.
WarioWare Gold.
Yeah.
Bowser's Inside Story. I think actually Bowser's Inside Story was actually the last game. Am I not?
And I don't think that one may not have even been mentioned.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was not mentioned.
So,
Tim,
at all,
any thoughts?
I'm trying to hold back the tears, So.
Can we cue in Sarah McLachlan's "I Will Remember You"?
Not if we don't want a copyright strike.
That's fair. We
could have got like a kid to play it on a
ukulele.
Let's talk about a couple of events and then what we've been playing to round out the show. I wanted to mention these two things because I think these are a couple of things our listeners would really be interested in. The first is that Overwatch is getting a 7-day free trial on Nintendo Switch. It begins for North American, European, and Japanese territories on 10/13 and lasts until the 20th of October. You can download the full version of Overwatch and play it with its multitude of characters and modes to see if it's for you. Guys, if you're on the fence about whether you would like Overwatch 2 when it finally does come to Nintendo Switch, because that's going to happen, or comes to any system, period, this is a can't miss opportunity. I love when they do this. There is absolutely no reason for you not, unless you just don't have space, to not download Overwatch and try it out.
Overwatch is a game that I probably play at least once or twice a month. I have these games that are kind of rotations, like Overwatch, Fortnite, obviously, Rocket League. These kind of like just online multiplayer games. I love Overwatch, and I'm thinking they should be having their Halloween event really soon too, shouldn't they?
This will be probably right in the middle of their Halloween event, which features every year an incredible
cool costumes
mode called the House of Dr. Junkenstein. Where you play as a team against a horde of attacking robots, and eventually Dr. Junkenstein and some of the characters dressed up like Frankenstein and other things themselves. It's fantastic. And so this is a no-risk trial. If you download it and it stays on your Switch past the 20th, it's just not going to load up. You don't get charged for it. So go and definitely check that out.
This needs an NSO subscriction, right?
Yeah, you do have to have a Nintendo Switch Online subscription, but they're saying that this might come with a discount. It might, like toward the end. I don't know. Another thing I want to make you mindful of is that that Splatoon 2 will be having a new to us, or a new again Splatfest, October 30th through November 1st. The second annual Splatoween Splatfest will be happening this year. You can join Team Trick or Team Treat and splat to your heart's content. And I know there's still a bunch of people playing Splatoon. I got to tell you guys a dirty secret. I deleted it off my Switch. Sorry.
I never had it.
Look, Justin, it was that, or I can't review games anymore for the show because my 400 gigabyte memory card is full.
I think we need to talk about how you clean your fridge and make better life choices, because I don't think Splatoon, removing that, is one of those life decisions that you should have to make.
It definitely was. They
have another Splatfest obviously coming up in January, so great opportunity to prepare for that as well.
Hey,
that is Mushroom and Power Star.
Right.
And get your T-shirts.
And to redeem myself here, it's still on my Switch Lite.
Yeah.
It's just not on my big machine.
Third strongest mole. You're squidding me, Marty.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not. With that, let's talk about what we've been playing.
Do it.
Jesse, what have you been playing, man?
Okay, so as I've said the last 2 weeks, I've been playing through Mario Super Picross. I finally finished it. There are a total of 300 puzzles in it, and a good number of the last 50 are complete garbage puzzles. Just a warning. They are puzzles that cannot be solved using only logic. You literally will have to guess. And the problem with that is, like on the Mario side, you have a time limit. Which means when that countdown goes to 0, it's game over. It also means it has auto error correction turned on, which gives you a time penalty.
Oh.
So if you're required to guess and get penalized for being wrong, not a good way to go. Plus, you get one free hint reel if you want it at the start, and you can buy another hint wheel run for 5 minutes. So what I had to do on a few puzzles is actually run a few hint wheels, take notes on what's good, and then start over, run a different wheel to get different information, overlay it with the information from the first time, and then see if I can solve it. So, and then when it comes to the Wario side, there are no hints. You cannot buy hints. The only thing you can do is turn on the maybe mode. So as you start marking things, it's got a yellow background. And then at any point you can say, keep everything, and then it'll redraw everything as solid, or erase everything, and it'll undo everything back to that safe point. So I had to do that a number of times, literally try this, until I finally found one that worked. So
can I be real honest? That doesn't sound fun.
It's not fun.
When you start talking about the garbage puzzles, that does not sound
But
fun.
still, once you get that far, you've done over 250 puzzles, you've got your money worth, and remind you, this was free.
Is this, do you think this is why maybe this game never came out over here?
No, I just don't think a lot of people in North America knew what Picross was yet. But it is nice to see that, we don't have that problem in the new games. So the puzzles are always solvable using logic. And you don't have the problem of, I've already marked this as an X. I don't want to accidentally strike a square in it. Oh, you're wrong, because I knew it was an X, so I get penalized and it gets swapped back into an X. That stuff doesn't accidentally happen anymore. If you want to change it from an X to a square, you have to remove the X first, so it's not an accident. So the modern games are definitely better, but again, this was their second game, so I can kind of forgive them for that. And this was, what did I say, 96? 94? I don't remember the year, but these were, definitely older games. But and then the last puzzle, number 300, I literally had to find someone else's solution and kind of copy it in order to mark it, because it was a mess. But, I did like my playthrough. I wanted to fight through it and finish the 300. I played more Super Mario 35. Today I literally just played one game. It took about 25 minutes. And I ended up not only winning, I got 1,000 coins for the first time in a win, and I got all 3 of the dailies done in one run. So I'm like, today was a successful run.
That's cool.
And I think I don't think we mentioned this in the news, but starting or events starting tonight at midnight Pacific. I think is they're starting another special event for about a week.
10-9 one. That's right.
And it's listed in the menu and just says starting at this date and time, which I think will have a fixed rotation of levels, like 1-1, 1-2, 1-4, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, or something like that. It's kind of a weird rotation. So we're going to get Bowser, we're going to get Lakitu, we're going to get Hammer Brothers. It'll be an interesting mess.
I was trying to see if the website said anything about it, but it's not about the event. Okay. But I remember seeing that when I was playing it too.
Okay. And I played the first hour-ish, or at least the first 2 days of the Pikmin 3 demo. I got to the point where I have Brittany, I have 2 of the Pikmin types, and next time I launch it'll be day 3. I haven't tried the gyro controls yet. I'm kind of worried about them. Definitely, I think, on the Wii and Wii U, the motion controls is the best way to play, in my opinion. But the problem with incorporating that in the gyro is they're going to lose sync and you have to recenter constantly. And as a catch of that, the L and the R buttons when gyro is off is used to rotate back and forth which Pikmin you throw, or Pikmin and or Captain. But if you have gyro on, R becomes your recenter button. So now you only have L. So you can't go back and forth. If you go too many, you got to loop all the way around again to get what you want. So that'll be kind of a pain. I do plan on trying it, but at least the first 2 days I only did just with the Pro Controller without gyro. And the last game is a game that was released today called Game Dev Tycoon. It's been around in other systems and I think and mobiles for a while. We just launched it today on Switch. We had and I had an early review code, but the embargo was this morning, so I couldn't live stream it last night. So I just recorded my play session and posted it on YouTube this morning. So it's about an hour and a half. I only wanted to go for about an hour and lost track of time and kept on going. So you start as a one-man programming machine in your garage, making games. Starting with either a PC or a C64 clone, or because they can't use C64. Everything is just spoof names of real systems, and just you start off with money, with a certain amount of money in your bank. You have a monthly costs, you have game development costs, you release the game, and you try to make a profit, and then you turn that money around into learning more skills to make better games to get a bigger profit, etc. And there was one game I did, I think it was, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was like a rhythm casual game on a Game Boy, called the Game Ling, because it had the highest market share at the time. And I knew
Game Ling.
And I knew that, and once you unlock like rating systems for targeting, age targeting, the youth market is really good at the Game Ling. The casual market is good in the Game Ling, and so everything was all aligned. And that game scored 9s and 10s in critic ratings, and that game gave me $3 million, which then let me upgrade into an office space where then I can start hiring new employees, so that I can learn more skills to make bigger games. And I got to the point where I unlocked the Super Nintendo alternate, and they kind of said that Vani and Ninvento are working together to make this new system called the Play System, which will be the first CD-based game, and then literally the next day says, and it's been canceled. So they're taking real events and turning it and using their spoof names with this. So I was amused by that.
I like it.
So I'm liking it. I plan on playing more into it. I think the game mode I ran is a 32-year mode. They have a bigger and a smaller version as well. And Then that way I'll probably take notes of what I've learned, of what works, what combinations work, so I can apply it to the next run through and have a better run.
Okay. Fair deal. Justin, what have you been playing?
Sure. I've been playing. I'm going to be super quick on it. I've been playing some more Super Mario Sunshine. Trying to stick through it. Just trying to push through. And I do feel like I'm pushing through.
Well, that's what I was interested in, because you said you never played Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
So now that you have played Mario Sunshine, what are your what are your thoughts? Especially now that you're more than a week in.
Yeah, I struggle with the controls still. Do you know what I mean? Like some of it feels like it's really right, especially using Flood. Flood does not feel like I have the level of control I want to, the precision I like to.
Yeah.
So that's this challenge. But then there's this familiarity of like, oh yeah, there's Mario's double jump. Oh, there's like, so there's a lot of, there's the butt stomp, right? There's a lot of these things that feel super comfortable, but like that, the controls with Flood are driving me bonkers. And when I die, it's typically because of that. Do you know what I mean? It's because it's not lined properly, and that's super, super frustrating.
Yeah, see, I was going to talk about Mario Sunshine in mine as well, because I've been playing that a lot on 3D All-Stars, but this is a good time to kind of chime in here. See, I feel the opposite of you. Like, I'm confident with Flood. It's the levels with Mario where it's just him that are incredibly frustrating.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I was in one the other day, The Secret of Rico Tower.
Okay.
And I wanted to curse really badly, but my wife and kids were around, and I don't do that, or try not to do that anyway.
Yeah.
Just cause. And honestly, here's the thing. It has such different physics from other Mario games.
Yes.
Because the way that Mario tackles like running up an incline in Sunshine would not be a problem in Mario Odyssey or even Mario Galaxy, but it is in Sunshine. And there's times that you'll just slide off a platform for no reason.
Yeah.
It feels incredibly loose. And so I'm getting used to it, but I can see, like, all these years later, I can see why it's not everyone's favorite Mario game, right? Like, I see a ton of people on my Twitter feed saying, I'm getting enough shines just to get through it, so I can say I beat it again. But I want to do the whole thing. So, like, I've never done the 120 stars on Mario Odyssey. I mean, Mario 64.
Yeah.
So I really want to try to do that now. Because playing it, I feel like playing it a long time ago, I just didn't have the perseverance. Like, I was like, I just want to play the next game. Okay, I beat it. Whoop-de-doo. I don't need to see Yoshi on top of the castle. I need to see Yoshi on top of the castle now. So I've been sinking a lot of time into Mario 3D All-Stars.
Okay. Nice. So I've been picking away at that one. That's a slow one. The other one that we got a review code for that I just played about an hour and a half ago with my wife is a game called Flipon. And it reminds me of Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Because the opposite of that would be rated M.
Yeah, not Puyo Puyo Tetris. What is the game that was put on the Super Nintendo recently that was only released in Japan?
Oh, Picross?
No, the SNES
just
puzzle
Puyo Puyo.
Game. Yeah, was it just called Puyo Puyo?
It was just Puyo Puyo.
Puyo Puyo. It's very similar to that. It's again blocks, right? Match 4, match 5 combinations. It's got a single player mode. It's really cool, actually. I'm really digging it. Like, my wife loves those kind of games. I got her recently addicted to Grindstone on the Apple Arcade because that's coming to the Nintendo Switch very soon. And I thought, let's see what this is like. And so I got her stuck on that. So now I'm trying to segue her off to a new one. But it's got local multiplayer. It's got like all those kind of puzzle block things that we love. So I think it's very cool. I'd recommend. They got a single player mode too, which is very cool. I like that. And then the other one I want to check on. You know what? I am also playing a game called Foregone. F-O-R-E Gone. Now you'd think Foregone sounds like it is like golfing. This is a 2D pixelated platformer, roguelike, heavily inspired by, I shouldn't say inspired by, but heavy vibes of Dead Cells. However, it is linear in base as opposed to being when you die randomly generated levels. It is back to being linear. I have got 45 minutes of a Let's Play that's going to go up in the next couple of days you need to watch. I'm going to tell you, this game hooked me within 5 minutes. I was like, yes, please. This is awesome. There's great voice. Like, check this one out. I know there's a ton of games hitting the Switch in October. There's a lot of great games. This is one you may want to look for. I'm digging it. Digging every piece of this one. Marty, this is an up your alley for sure.
I'm in the eShop right now.
It comes out next week on the 13th.
Yeah, it comes out next week. There was this weird kind of thing that it looked like it was actually. Yeah, it looked like it was originally scheduled for supposed to be this week, but it ends up being next week. Check it out.
It does have a pre-order attached to it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's a discount on the pre-order too right now, isn't it? Am I wrong?
Not from what I'm seeing.
No. Okay, I apologize. There was maybe another game that I was thinking of that with. But yeah, check that one out. Again, we got a Let's Play. You're gonna want to look at that. That's super, super cool. Those are the kind of and Animal Crossing because it's Halloween, right? That's that's kind of just that's the thing.
Speaking of Animal Crossing, Tim, how many hours did you sink into Animal Crossing this week?
More Animal Crossing. In fact, my numbers will be skewed for at least for one day because I left my Switch on all day, either Monday or Tuesday, so that people could come to my island so they could try to get candy for the Halloween or try to get any DIYs that were being built or whatever they wanted to do. And I don't even know how many people might have stopped by other than maybe a couple people in our Discord showing pictures that, hey, here's a picture of us. I was standing next to you. So thanks to everybody who stopped by there. I hope you got what you needed and stuff. But yeah, my family and I are digging the Halloween stuff. We were eating it up day one. As soon as we could access it and trying to figure stuff out, planting pumpkins, and then a community just blowing up with knowledge on what to do. So especially Ibicel was just knocking it out of the park with, the rates of what you could do with the pumpkins and how many pumpkins you get because you water it a certain amount of times, or you have guest watering in a certain amount of times, and then what colors you would get, and just
I don't have a single pumpkin recipe
yet. Blowing my mind. Yeah,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing that happened to me with the summer shells. I have all these summer shells, but never got any recipes.
The recipes you got to get from your neighbors. So and I just found this out, and I've been playing it for over 500 hours now. But they build twice a day, so two different neighbors. Yeah, morning and night. So, and they both times are not going to be the Halloween.
Yeah, but the thing is that most of the time when I get a recipe from them lately, it's like, oh, you already have this.
Yep. And so the thing is it's supposed to be twice a day, and one of those times will be the Halloween recipe. And if you get a duplicate of the recipe, which I really dig, is they won't give it to you to try to give to somebody else. You actually will get a piece of candy, or they'll give you a pumpkin. So, which I thought was really cool. And I didn't know that until my wife told me.
I forgot to go get my candy today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the sucky part is if you miss it. So I've actually been getting up early enough in the morning because work's been tough where I haven't had much free time. So I've been getting up early in the morning and trying to grab it as soon as the store opens, trying to grab that candy and seeing what the Able Sisters are selling. So that's the other thing too, is getting those different costumes. Or if Kix is on your island and selling certain things, I got some imp wings or something like that. So been having fun playing with the different. I only did 2 different costume things right now, but I'm hoping that I'll probably change it up again. Again, Halloween's a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to the Christmas holiday stuff. Can't wait to see what they do with that. So. Again, probably be playing. Especially we're leading up to Halloween, right? We're trying to get as much candy as possible so we can pass it out on Halloween, and I can't wait to see what happens there as well. So that's why I'm trying to collect as much candy as I can by going to my family's islands and buying their candy, because you only get one piece of candy to buy at a time. Next, I've been playing is the Super Mario Bros. 35. I've jumped into that a lot more, especially because of monthly mayhem in our community. Although I can't win anything, it's still fun to be able to participate with the guys there and gals, who, if we have any gals playing in the background that we don't know about, but the guys are certainly vocal about what they do in there and what level they are. So
yeah, the contest is just highest level wins. So,
yes,
and then they said they have ideas for tiebreakers. I'm sure it'll dig into some of the stats that the game collects, but they haven't given details on what they're looking for yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just reached level 50.
And my gaming time has been limited, so these type of things that I've been playing, quick jump ins and type of stuff has been helpful. Sure. And in fact, I wanted to play our Retro Rewind game, which is the Demon's Crest game for the SNES. And thankfully, one of our new, not Patreons, but Discord member who's just in for the free stuff, just being a part of the community, because you can join it for free, actually, which a couple of our wives have done too. So, but one of the people that are in there, he's actually a friend of mine. His name is Scotty Karate, I think is his name. Jesse, yeah, it's 11:55. Another time pause there for me, right?
Yep.
So anyway, as I was saying, a friend of mine, Scotty Karate, who's in the room in the Retro Rewind area, he actually beat Demon's Crest.
Wow.
And he actually went through and did the I guess the ultimate boss ending. Yeah, the super boss. And he was posting all the pictures and stuff like that on there. And I was like, I don't need to play it. He just played it and told me all about it.
Sure.
No, but it was really cool to see that somebody got through that. So, and then last but not least, what's something that I get to play this week that I'm looking forward to is the Survivalist that's coming out tomorrow. I'm hoping to be able to find some time to do some streaming of that, because it's basically looks like kind of an element between your elements of Animal Crossing and the other name of the game is the really popular one that people compare it to.
The Escapist.
Well, that's made by the same people who make The Escapist. But the Stardew Valley, that's the other one. So where it's got some elements of those two things where you're basically trying to survive on an island, but seems like it has some RTS elements as well, where you have to get your resources and you use monkeys to help you build stuff. But you can play with other people up to 3 other people, with I think a total of 4 total players. And I was hoping to be able to, by the time I play this, it comes out, like I said, tomorrow. So I might just buy it for my wife anyways, and then see if we can play it together. Because I'm really curious about that element of it, being able to go on the island, procedurally generated areas on the island. And the part that intrigues me the most is you can explore it and find dungeons to get these surprises on the island that they say is really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Awesome. And checking that out. So look for that on our stream, and then of course the replay to watch once I get it going. And also there's a download demo for that too, by the way, so make sure you get that.
Oh yeah.
And I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to Team 17 for giving us that code, by the way.
Awesome. So I've been playing Fortnite.
What level are you at, buddy?
I'm heading toward level 80 right now. I just got I just finished the second of 3 Dr. Doom challenges to get his emotes, and I'm heading toward Mystique now. I really expect that I'll be at level 100 by the end of this battle pass, because the only reason I quit playing, I played almost the entire time I was on vacation. The only reason I quit playing was my XP booster ran out. So I was just like, I probably need to let it cool off for a little bit.
Well, and this battle pass is going till the end of November, right?
That's possible.
No, it says it.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it goes to the end of November. It's November 30th is the end of the battle pass.
Okay, so this one's extended as well, so I'll have plenty of time to do it. I've loved this battle pass. I think it's great. It's had its hooks in me the entire time. But I've also gotten back into Animal Crossing last night. I started rearranging my island some, building some footpaths, and built a garden next to my house. And I was sitting up. I didn't really feel like going to bed yet, but I was just puttering around, and all the shops had closed down. But I was like, I'm going to put up all the summery looking stuff and put out all the fall things and decorate my house for Halloween and things like that I've never done in Animal Crossing before. And I need to come to some of your houses or islands this weekend to get the candy I've missed, because I do want to have 31 days of candy.
Yes,
at least. So I'll be maybe asking about coming to your island sometime.
Is there a reward for having 31 days of candy, or just the...
No, I'm going to guess that there's some kind of reward that you get based on, like, you cross a threshold. If you passed out this much, you pass.
Okay, yeah, because I'm getting it and I'm giving it away. So I'm like, should I be keeping it?
you should be holding on to it for Halloween.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep, because you want to give some, I'm sure, to Jack to be able to get some things from Jack. What those are, I don't know.
Can I also ask another question?
And then pass it out to other people.
Can I ask another question? I only have like one recipe card to make anything for DIY with Halloween. Is that right?
I don't have anything.
Yeah, that's
Tim
what
was saying, that they somebody on your island gives out recipes morning and night.
So only once a day, but you got, but they are building. Somebody on the island's building.
Is building something? Yeah,
I've
had that, and I think both times I've got the same recipe, so it's not great.
It should be at least once. One of those two times should be.
Okay, maybe I'm
should
wrong.
be, and it's morning and night. So I don't know if you checked it at the same time, and that's why it was the same thing.
Okay.
I've got some star pieces I've got to get on my island. I know that because I saw some shooting stars last night too.
Yeah.
Also, while I was in Texas, I got to play some Killer Queen Black.
Yes, we did.
Man, I forgot how good this game is for multiplayer.
It's a great game.
So much fun. And we're going to be organizing some more game nights for Killer Queen Black. I do believe it's maybe not now, but let me check real quick. I think it's still on sale in the eShop.
I'm actually checking.
It was like $2, right?
Yeah, it's on sale for $2 still.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, this is a game that when it came out was $20.
So good for $2, or so good for $20.
Yeah, so you can team up with like we can get together 8-person games of this and play and get into Discord and use the voice chat feature there. I would love to play more of this game with people. It's so much fun. Matches go really quick, and you don't have to be you don't even have to be that great at it. Really, I don't think.
No.
You just have to be better than the other team.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. Absolute ton of fun. $2. It was, when we were playing there a couple days ago, Marty, I was in handheld sitting on my couch. The wife and kids were watching something, and I was just kind of like casually playing, but really, or playing the game, but just kind of in there a space too. Guys, $2. This is such an amazing game for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
My Switch is in the big TV, not here at my desk. So, but if you log into the eShop and find it, it should tell you how many days left are on.
That's right. Yeah.
So you can look there.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And go ahead and buy it. It's $2. Like we said, we will definitely be doing more community game nights. In fact, I'm probably going to try to integrate some of this into my extra life.
Yeah, I think we both will.
So I'm pretty excited about it. Maybe when we're overlapping there, Justin, a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
We could play a little bit. And it's really intuitive and it's super great. I've also been playing Super Mario 35. I love this game. I think it's everything competitive Mario could be and more. What I'm interested to see is over time, if we're going to get events with this that have themes like Tetris 99.
That's a good point.
Because it'd be cool if it was like Mario 3, Super Mario 3,
yes,
Super Mario World, or maybe, I don't know how they would handle it.
When I did the initial live stream the night before the game launched in North America, I was saying that they might have like other characters you can play as. You can run around as Toad, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, another Bowser.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I think that'd be fun.
And I know, Marty, you're kind of wrapping up what you've been playing, but do you want to tell me people what you're going to be playing soon, just so they're aware of coverage?
So look for a video this weekend. I'm going to be covering a first look of Falcon Age, which has just launched on the Switch. This is a first-person game where you train and use a falcon, who's incredibly cute, by the way. Love the aesthetic on this game. I'm going to dive into that right after we get done recording here.
Do a live stream.
Maybe I will. Who knows?
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Not really set up for a live stream, but I'll do a video. But that'll be up on our channel this weekend, and you can check that out. And it's available right now on the. I remember, was this not an Xbox title at one point or a PSVR?
It was, as I recall. Yeah.
And it got a fair amount of buzz then.
Yeah, got a fair bit of buzz, and then Papa Agenda Company or the Papa Agenda agency got as the publisher of it. We've had a relationship, or we've worked with them before into the past and stuff. So we're really excited about that. They also actually announced, interestingly enough, for those of you that are paying attention, Red Lantern is scheduled to come out in 2 weeks from now. So that's, I know, one that was like an indie game from like I think a year ago, and everyone was like,
it's been a while.
What happened there? So it sounds like that's coming. Well, we know that's coming soon, actually. As a matter of fact, it's in the eShop right now. You can pre-order for like $25. There's actually a ton of games coming out at the back half of October. Hint, hint. I still believe Apex Legends is coming in October, and I do want to ask Timothy Off, EA. I'm sorry. I'm on the show. I can just take it off the trains for a second.
Off the rails.
Off the rails. Tim, EA, Need for Speed hitting the Nintendo Switch in November.
Yes,
right?
Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. I am so happy for that this is coming. Again, just like Burnout. I don't play enough of that, but I don't care. I'm still going to buy Need for Speed and play as much of that as I can as well. But that's one of my favorite games. Yes, it may not be everybody's favorite. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, I wish it was the remake of the first Hot Pursuit or not this Hot Pursuit or whatever. I don't care. It's still Hot Pursuit. It's still Need for Speed. It's Need for Speed on the Nintendo console.
Yeah.
So I'm happy, and I hope we still continue to see this trend of EA bringing more games to the Switch that a lot of people like.
So if Justin derailed, does that mean he ran out of materials to build the track on his minecart?
So painful.
Yes.
I want to say something here in regards to the Apex Legends component of it and the EA thing. Here's one of the reasons why I believe Apex is coming very soon. And I kid you not, folks, this tweet was 12 hours ago, and nothing has been said about Apex until recently. Chad Creenan, who is the Apex game director, on Twitter got a question that says, any news on the Switch version? Kind of disheartening not hearing anything news at all since it's announced. Hope it's not scrapped. 12 hours ago, he replied with, very much not scrapped. We will be talking about Switch again soon, but unfortunately can't speak to it here and now. I believe that this week, or I know this
by
week,
saying that is him talking about it here and now.
Yeah.
I know that this week FIFA came out by EA. I know that the beginning of November, EA has got the new Need for Speed. I believe that either next week or the week following, we are going to get a shadow drop of Apex Legends. And I believe it's going to be part of the next Nintendo third-party publisher mini direct thing they do, and it will be out today. It'll be available today, and I believe that direct specifically will probably promote more of EA's games, like potentially Plants vs. Zombies coming in a couple of months from now as well.
It is about time for one of those partner directs, isn't it?
It is. Looking at how they've done it before, I suspect it will be probably, if I'm also looking at something, kind of reading the cards, I believe it will probably be October 22nd. That's how much I believe. It'll either be October 22nd or October 15th.
Okay.
And then that's when I mentioned, I think you mentioned this on Twitter, right? So that's when I jokingly said, but could be right. Again, Sammy predicts that we're going to get Doom Eternal.
The Doom Eternal count actually tweeted today something as well.
Okay.
His
guess was we're getting it around Halloween. So
the rumor last week was it is, quote, very close.
Yes.
Yeah. So Doom Eternal sent out a photo, or the Doom Eternal Doom account is a GIF 14 hours ago, and all it says is 10/20/20. That is it, and it is a photo. It's a GIF of
nice
Doom guy.
10/20/20, and that's the same day as the thing, right?
That is the Tuesday.
Okay.
10/20/20 is a Tuesday, so it is entirely plausible then that my partner showcase is going to be that Tuesday. Tuesday would make sense from a eShop delivery, and again, the partner showcase will be at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to align for a refresh in the eShop. Nice. Doom Eternal, Apex Legends out today. Let's go, right? Yes. Let's get hyped.
That's a strong third-party drop right there.
And I will tell you that the day Apex comes out, I will probably take the day off of work and I'm going to live stream me probably playing Apex for like hours.
Like
all day.
You're not allowed to take that day off the podcast.
I'll just be playing Apex during the podcast.
Well,
like, Justin, what do you, Justin,
yeah.
Justin, what do you say to Justin?
I don't know why this game has me at a level of hype that is unfathomable, and I don't understand why.
It's because you haven't played it.
Probably, and I'm going to be like, this is the worst game
I
ever.
am not saying that you're not going to enjoy it by any means. I've played it. I actually love it. I think it's great. I think it's a great get for Nintendo, but I like it's squad-based Fortnite.
I mean, all of those things like ring my bell.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good.
I love playing Rogue Company.
It feels really good. I mean, it's fast. The slide thing is pretty cool. Yeah. So I'm not trying to harsh on it or anything for you. I'm just saying it. You know, be prepared to not. Maybe you won't like it.
To be honest, and one of the things is I'm looking for another free-to-play game like that to play when I'm not playing Fortnite. That's the problem I have. I have a real problem.
But I'm not sinking massive amounts of time into this free-to-play game. I'm looking for another free-to-play game to do that with.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've picked up Rocket League again, and I got the Battle Pass now that it went free-to-play.
Oh, Justin.
I'm on like level 15 on the Battle Pass. Let's go. Let's get hyped. You know
what
I'm saying?
They got him.
Yes.
They did. I was out, and they got me back in. Ah!
Oh, P.T. Barnum was right.
But before we move on, I want to go back to Falcon Age real quick. It was previously released on PlayStation 4 and Windows, and then their respective VR components also has the game, so PSVR and Oculus.
Oh, nice. Speaking of people who are unreasonably hyped about games, let's talk about our good friend, Christopher Logel.
Yeah, let's turn on the community spotlight.
Let's do that.
I kept trying to pull you out of that time hole there.
I know. I saw that, and I was like, I gotta be good. I gotta be good now. I'll shut up.
So, Tim, why don't you like reading these questions? And this was pretty much directed at me, so I don't want to read the questions directed at me. So why don't
Yes, this is an important question for Marty that was specifically tagged on our Patreon, and it's from Christopher Logo. He's done our blogs before. He says, Marty, how excited were you to hear that NHL 94 news and that you can get it for free with NHL 21? How excited were you, Marty? Now you got to make sure you use one of your terms of how excited you were too. One of your Southern terms.
Oh, okay. I could not give a rat's rear end about this.
Was that the term you were expecting?
Question, or next comment.
There you go.
Bruce Patterson. After 4 weeks, my 2 sets of Joy-Cons have arrived today. If I've known they were to be in quarantine for 2 weeks there, I would have replaced the drift issue myself.
If you can do that, more to you. But
go on.
Look, I took apart the Pro Controller one time, and I was like, I got it all out there, and I was like,
It's a bad decision.
There's this rubber thing that goes around the home button. It didn't get back in there, so my the home button was sunk in there, and I had to like just really mash it really hard to go. So I just ended up buying
all I gotta say is, Bruce, you should have watched the video that we made, on that.
Exactly. I want to say something before we move off of Bruce. Actually, Christopher's comment here, guys. First, Chris,
I am so excited for you that your hype dream of NHL 94 Rewind finally came true.
It's not coming on the Switch, though, is it?
Well, here's the catch. It doesn't sound like it is. I'm willing to bet you. Give it like 6 months, and they'll release it out on all the eShops for like a $15 to $20. Who is it? It's EA, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what one of the games is that EA is now going to say is part of their portfolio of games that they're going to be selling out to you. Of course, it's going to be.
That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that drop.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, just to let you know, Apex Legends isn't coming to the Switch, but I've got 1994 8-bit retro rewind hockey. So there you go, guys. Have a great one.
16-bit. Get it right. 16.
That is 16-bit. That's going to definitely be a game that's going to come to the Switch because they know they're going to make money off of it.
Maybe here was doing that with the Canadian accent, so maybe it's only 14.
Oh, yes, that's true.
I love how EA is represented by like
an aggressively rude Eastern Canadian.
Northeastern Teamsters.
Right. You guys,
or whatever.
Yeah.
But that would be cool because, again, I'm excited about EA bringing games in. And if they do bring NHL 94 Rewind, which I think would be a smart move eventually down the road, and it makes sense because, I mean, it's free with NHL 21. They're trying to get incentive for those people who do that.
What they need
I would be shocked if it doesn't end up being there.
Right. Maybe next year, maybe around the hockey season. Who knows? Maybe they'll bring it out then.
What they need to do is bring in the greatest hockey game of all time, which is
Blades of
NHL
Steel.
Hits.
Oh.
Yes.
NHL Hits is the greatest hockey game.
I thought you were going to say Blades of Steel.
Blades of Steel.
Nintendo Black Box Ice Hockey.
It's followed closely second by Mutant League Hockey.
Okay.
Oh, wow, that's a deep cut.
So Sega Genesis for life on that, man. Because it wasn't coming to Nintendo because there were people whose heads exploded and other things happened.
Right.
So Nintendo was so anti-blood up until Mortal Kombat 2 brought in the dump trucks of money to Nintendo. They changed their tune. So anyway, great, Chris. Like seriously, if you are pumped about this, awesome. I can't find any enthusiasm. Hey,
before we close out the show, I wanted to do a quick bit of Amico news because I forgot to put it in the notes, but I still wanted to talk about it. Right. So the original launch date was supposed to be 10/10/2020, so that would have been in 2 days, and then that got delayed. So instead, on 10/10/2020 at 10:10 a.m. Pacific time, Tommy is going to have a video out, I think a live stream, to have hardware reveals and software reveals.
Can I use another Southern expression here?
Sure.
Uh-oh.
To quote my mother, I think this is going to go over like a lead balloon.
And then there's Atari VCS.
Yes. Well, there's a Southern expression for that as well, that I can't say it on air.
Dad's After Dark.
Save that for the post show.
Yeah, maybe someday I'll tell you. Well, guys, this has been episode 300. We've been doing this for 300 weeks. Oh, my gosh. And you have hung with us for a good number of those. I'm so excited that you have been here for episode 300
I'm so
tonight
sorry.
to help us celebrate. Don't listen to Justin. It's been a great time. We want to say as we close out the show, a huge thanks to our Patreon producers, Chris Mears, Dave Ernsberger, and Antonio Contronio. And we want to remind you to head over to nintendodads.org, where you can go to our brand new TeePublic merch store. You can see all of our YouTube videos, tweets, podcast episodes, our social media links, and you can see how to get to Patreon as well. And you can find us in most places. Just type in Nintendo Dads. It's Patreon, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. Just type in Nintendo Dads, and we're there. And you can send us an email at nintendodads@gmail.com, or if you just want to talk to us and let us hear your sexy, sexy voice, you can call in at 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. Big thanks to OC Remix for the music used throughout the show, and TeePublic for our brand new 6-year anniversary logo. And to remind you, download our podcast from your favorite app of choice, whichever one it is. But be sure that you go in, you subscribe, you like, you give us a 5-star review, and you give us some words. Write something nice about the podcast, or you can write something nice like Tim has a fantastic head of hair when he doesn't have a hat on, or Justin looks great without a mustache, or Jesse has he lives in a place with great barbecue, or Marty sucks. You can write that too. That's fine.
All of those are great options.
Or another thing they could write
honestly,
about is how Mario Kart 7 is number 7 on our list.
There you go. About that. But anyway, you writing a review, giving us 5 stars helps people find the show, and we want them to do that. Want to rise up the ranks and take over Nintendo charts on iTunes and other places as well. So for me, for Jesse, for Tim, and Justin, this has been episode 300 of Nintendo Dads. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
You gotta get your together. You know what I'm saying?